So we want to talk about the fear of success. Let's get into it. Welcome to podcast number 2 for Sailing Stone Performance podcast, mental performance coaching for athletes and elite humans. So today's topic, we brushed on a little bit last week, real briefly, when we talked about fear of failure on competition day. Now we're going to talk about fear of success and what that means. So a lot of people think fear of success. Why would I fear that? Right? Doesn't make sense. Well, a lot of times the fear of success will actually disguise itself as a fear of failure. But what ends up happening is over time, maybe we've gotten used to failing. And so it feels comfortable, right? Even though we don't want that, even though we think we want success, we find that comfort in losing, it becomes familiar. So we stay there. We don't know what success looks like. Maybe we've never had success before, and the thought of it is overwhelming, right? Perhaps having success is a thought that, you might change. So I know for me growing up, I had a lot of success, not early on in my wrestling career, but later on, middle, and, unrelated to actually being in athletics. But, I always kind of prided myself on the character of who I was and being a good person. And people around me would always reiterate, oh, you're so nice and you're such a great person, don't ever change and all these things. And I think what ended up happening over time is I started getting scared that, success might change me, right? And people will say stuff like that. It's always the unsuccessful people, the people who were always afraid to chase their dreams or afraid to give it all they had, right? And so we have this fear of the success, like it's this monster, right? That it's something that only these asshole people can obtain. And simply just not true, but it's something that holds people back, right? So that's what I want to talk about today. I want to really get into this and, allow us to shift this for anybody who's having this come up for them. And maybe you don't think it applies to you, but maybe it does. So, we'll end with a tapping on this. It's just going to be kind of a signature thing that we do, because I want to give you guys the tools to be able to actually shift things. I'm tired of people talking about all this stuff. And then afterwards, everything's great, but how do I actually apply this, right? So tapping is the tool that you will apply to overcome these challenges and these obstacles that you have, and these fears that you're facing when it comes to performance. So if you find yourself where you're starting to make excuses in your mind before your match, before your game, and you're thinking, oh, well, I just didn't get enough sleep. My water intake was bad. Oh, this team's really good. When you're starting to make up all these excuses as to why you're going to lose, you're having a fear of success. Could be fear of failure, but you're already creating the scenario where you lose. And most likely you're going to end up causing that scenario to come true. So we want to stop that as soon as we start to notice the patterns and the thoughts reoccurring. And the way we do that easily is simply recognize that we're having those thoughts. Most of the time we don't, if we're not self-aware enough, we're not noticing that it's actually becoming this thought pattern, right? But we usually know, because we're thinking, what am I going to tell my friends? What am I going to tell my family? What are the excuses that I'm going to have for why I'm going to lose? Well, when you start to have those, and we touched on this last week with fear of failure, it's very similar. Recognizing that you have a thought pattern. Now let's shift it, all right? We want to think now, focusing on what is our job? What do we have, right? What I really enjoy is I don't believe that anymore, right? So whenever you have those thoughts, say, oh man, a team won state last year. That team, won the Super Bowl last year, and they're still really good. And what if we don't have the talent to bring it up? Well, you know what? I don't believe that anymore, because I know that at any day, anybody can win, right? There's always those stories. So we want to tap into that energy. We want to tap into the magic, right? We always leave a little bit of room for the magic to happen. So let's just tap real fast on fear of success. The fear that maybe you're going to change, be somebody different. I want to stay the same good person. Well, you know what? You might have to kill that person in order to be a successful person. And that doesn't mean that when you are a successful person that you're a bad person or that you're different. Maybe you are different. Maybe you have to change, right? That person that you are can no longer be that person if you're going to be a person who's super successful. And you're going to start to see changes in habits, changes in thought patterns. Once you start disassociating yourself with somebody who is not a successful person and start associating yourself as somebody who is a successful person, it's an identity that you need to consume yourself, right? You have to believe you're already a state champ. You have to believe you're already a Super Bowl champ. You have to believe that you're already Pro Bowl, right? You have to believe that you've already won the race. And you have to take every lap as if you're already winning, right? You have to take the mentality into everything that you do in life so that you apply it. It all applies. Okay, so we're going to do a tapping here on fear of success. If you're on the radio, definitely go ahead and check out the links for YouTube, because you can see a live version of me tapping. You can see a little bit better. But I will also tell you that we're going to start on the karate chop. So I always say dominant hand on your non-dominant side. So start on the karate chop, and then we'll move into the orbital bone, which is your eyebrow crust. Go inside and then on the outside, and then right underneath the eye. Everything's still on the orbital bone, and then we're going to move for underneath the nose and above the lip, and then below the bottom lip and above the chin, and then right on the inside of your collarbone, underneath your armpit. Should be a little sore spot in there. And then we'll go in onto the thumbnail. So again, I'm tapping with my dominant hand on my non-dominant. I'm going to go into the forefinger, the middle finger, and then the pinky finger. And then we'll end on the top of the head. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the karate chop. And here we say, even though I'm having this fear of success, because I'm just afraid that's going to change who I am, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. Even though I'm afraid that success is going to change me, I deeply and profoundly love and trust myself. Even though I've been told not to change who I am. So I've been afraid of success because I know that I have to change if I'm going to become successful. I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself as a successful person. I'm just not supposed to change. I'm just so scared to change who I am. I'm just so scared to change who I am, because who I am might not be a successful person. Well, what if who I am is just not successful? What if who I am is just not successful? I'm just scared of success because it's going to change me. I'm scared of success because it's going to change me. I'm just so scared of success because it's going to change me. Just so scared of success. Just so scared of success. I'm just so scared of success. What if I have to kill this person I am now to become somebody greater? What if this version of myself has to die to become even greater? I'm going to allow this version of myself to die so I can be better. I'm going to be better. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to allow all the abundance and the success to flow. And I'm going to get excited about who I become, because I can be successful and an amazing person. I'm just going to be successful and an amazing person. Go ahead and take a nice deep breath. And just like that. Hopefully you guys feel a nice release from that. Give a shout out, give a comment, please. I really want to know what things are holding you guys back, so we can do a video on it, so we can tap on it, so we can dig in a little bit more as to what is some of the psychology around those fears and thoughts that are coming up, especially around performance, around athletes, around entrepreneurs pushing on the company, and what things are holding you back. All right. Looking forward to talking to you guys soon. Check you later.